record collection. So to cut the story short, let me begin with my childhood. When I was a school boy, I used to live with my maternal uncles for some time in holidays, and they used to bring a cranking machine with that horn type gramophone, and you are winding a machine and placing a breakable record. And then I was not allowed to go nearby and touch the record because they would shout, "You will break the record, you will break the phono." And I was then so much wanting to touch it, how it works. And then from that time onwards I decided that one day I must have such a gramophone machine with me and record of my own, so that nobody will scold me asking that don't touch, it will break. Is it coming alright? Okay. So as the time passed on, my father realized that this boy is very much fascinated with this medium of gramophones, records and music. Actually in the beginning I was not knowing what I was looking for, what I am excited about. So my father, we had a small newspaper shop in Pune, and my father used to buy the old record for me by weight, 25 paise per kg or something like that. And we didn't have gramophone that time. So what I would do that I would put a nail on the wall, then using that hole I would put the record on the wall, and with a small needle or small pin I would rotate the record with my one hand and try to put in it, and whatever feeble sound I would get, I would try to listen. So my father and mother noticed that this boy is a gone case, so they spent some money and bought one small box type, not a horn type, box type machine for me, and then it was my own world of records. And I grew with that in my school days and college days and university days, and as the time passed I saved all my money, the pocket money or gift money, investing in such small things. And that's how by the time I was in the first year of college, I had a sizable collection of 2 machines of gramophone, one with the cranking horn type and one with box type, and about 200 gramophone discs. And that is how my personal collection began. And then, this was 1980 or in that period. And that was a crucial period when the gramophone records were phasing out, the cassettes were coming in, the CD was still far away. But the medium which I lived with from childhood, I didn't want to leave it. So I moved from Pune, my birthplace, to Bombay for my job at Tata Institute of Fundamental Research as a scientist. And then I realized that, my box is lying at Pune and the machines are lying there, and now I have a small sizable house. So I told my wife that I will bring my collection here, and I brought it. Started listening, people started enjoying. Because that time only one TV and no so many channels, and one should get bored with radio TV. And the idea of this is that it's instant music. You have a record, you can listen to any time when you want. You don't have to wait that TV is telecasting or radio is broadcasting. And
now,
slowly,
which year? Is it 1965 or 70s?
It was about 1975.
75.
80 when I came in Bombay.
Okay.
And as we grow along, we were just collecting records. And I realized, I'm not the only one in the town. So I met my friends who were collecting records, and they took me to the Chor Bazaar of Bombay, flea market, famous for it. That time, as we entered the flea market, Chor Bazaar, we would see record hits on either side of the road.
Yes.
And we didn't have money.
Yes.
And there were people, rich people, big people who were buying records for any cost, and all kinds of traders, fiddlers, serious people, amateur, professionals, whatnot. Yes. We were lost among that sea. And as the time passed on, the collection started growing, the space in the house was not enough. And there were people of old age who were complaining, we have so many thousands of records, what to do? We don't know. And I didn't know what to do.
How you formed the Record Collectors Society?
Yeah. And as this kept on happening, meeting people, friends, making visits to Chor Bazaar, one day I came across an article of one gentleman from Australia, a gentleman called Michael Kinnear. And he wrote that he wanted help from Indians. So he is dreaming of making an encyclopedia of Indian records. So I got hold of the editor and got the address, and there was a snail mail, not email. I wrote a small letter with hand, not even typewritten, and forgot about it. But after a month or so, he replied me. He said, you are the first Indian to respond to my query.
Yes.
And I am coming, it was 1990, March 1990, I remember very well. He said, I am coming to India, can you put me in your house for a month? I said, yes, happily. So Michael Klinger came to my house and my eyes were wide open. That there is much more beyond than listening to records. So many academic things are involved which I was not aware. And really in my mind I thought that, oh, he is my guru in this now. So we started talking and chatting together, and then he was making a preparation for 6 books in line. Gramophone record company, first Indian recording, then second period, then biography of discovery of Abdul Karim Khan, which I never thought of that somebody from outside will do.
Yes.
And then the friendship began, and then he put the idea that why don't you bring people together who collect records? I said, what a foolishness, who will come and do this?
Yes.
Here people are always back to back, they are envying each other, jealous of each other, who will come forward? He said, why don't you give it a try? So with his idea, we formed the Society of Indian Record Collectors in the year 1990. And from that time onward, initially I was not very hopeful about the whole exercise. But somehow it clicked. And today, after 25 years, we have now about 250 paid members, out of which 150 from outside, 100 from within India, who are paying and subscribing our journal. And that journal idea also was shown by Michael himself. He said, why don't you begin some outreach, some magazine, some publication of society? I said, who is going to read it? He said, doesn't matter, either you will read or I will read. Slowly people will come in. So from Australia he used to send me the typewritten final versions, which I would then make some 50 photocopies and send to 50 people. Most of them free in the beginning. And today, after 25 years, now that has become a major reference source for many, many academic work, research work, books, and that became a history. And that's how he said, on one line you start this academic work, publish journals, collect records, collect people who collect records. And also outreach to people by way of listening session. I said, what is this listening session? He said, today somebody comes to your house and asks, oh, pull that record of Vincent Joshi of that period and play it to me.
Yes.
Do it same thing in a big audience. I asked him, who is going to come and listen? He said, why don't you give it a try? So we tried with one Professor Mehta from Nadia. He came to our AFR. I was working there at that time. At 8:30 at night, we had a lecture on my name is Gohar John. And there were only 6 people in the audience. Mehta speaking to 6 people, but as if he is talking to 10,000 people. And that is where we began. Slowly, in the beginning we were not very hopeful, but slowly the things started to change so much that now today we have to hire a hall. And depending on the topic, anywhere from 100 to 1,000 people come and just listen to the recorded music. That was a new experiment which has become successful. Then we reached out to other towns. Within Maharashtra, there is Pune, Solapur, Nanded, Amravati, Aurangabad. There are so many towns where locally the collectors of recorded music, they come together once in a month, talk about a record, listen to record, and then this work goes on for the last 25 years. And one remarkable thing has happened in the city of Solapur. In that Solapur city, that small committee of record collectors, they somehow persuaded the local book library there. And they said, okay, you have the space for books, do you have space for our recorded music? The library management also readily agreed, and they have given them 2 rooms. And today if you go and visit the Solapur Book Library, you will see a space for records, CDs, tapes, and meticulously there is no machinery available, manpower available, funds available, and whatever otherwise would have been thrown on roads, now it is at one place. And I am dreaming that if such an exercise is replicated at many towns in India, not only necessarily for recorded music, for anything which is our cultural heritage can be preserved for posterity, and generations after generations can take advantage of it. So this was a very big advantage of this coming together rather than being back to back. And then the friendship among societies, so many friends in different areas, it grew so much that today those who were jealous and envying each other, they have become great friends. At the end of this week, I am going to a place called Amravati in Maharashtra. where there is the annual meet of record collectors. And 2 months ago, there was an international convention of sound recorded record collectors and archivists. So you see, with the new millennium, not only in India, the eyes are getting wide open worldwide.
Yes.
So let's put our bit also in this.
Yes. How about the new technology? Just now the new records are coming.
Yes.
So 180 gram pressing. How is it?
Well, one has to wait till this is a transition. Whether that new records coming in will stay or it just fancy or fad, which will die its own death, we will see and watch. But what is most important that people want to again go back to disc format.
Yeah.
Because that is the most durable format. And that's why CD also has come to flat disc format.
Yes.
Not in the read tape or VHS because they have their own limitations, capabilities. Where in disc format you can always wipe off with a small cloth and use it again.
Yes.
So that is a positive sign that it has come in a disc format. At the same time, when it is there and we are not sure that this arrival of disc will stay or go away, it is our duty to digitize all that stuff which is from 1902 or even before till today. Be it in a disc form, be it in a cassette form, whatever. You know, there are private recordings, private collections, and unless we have a digitized copy, it's not possible to share easily and store also.
Sharing is important.
Sharing is important. So, and so, with this last 10 years also, because of social networking and so many internet connection websites, actually the world has become a small village. But now, if you don't, for example, Gohar Jan is very well known now through the books of Vikram Sampad and everything. But there are obscure about 40 to 50 female singers and 40 to 50 male singers whose names are not even heard of today.
Yes.
And their discs are with the collectors.
Yes.
So now if we don't digitize them, and if the disc is dropped and broken, it is gone forever.
Yes. Sometimes music companies also approach to the collectors for the records.
Yeah. But depends on what sales.
Yes.
Whereas a collector, archivist has to do each and everything which is in his collection. Because you don't know, tomorrow somebody may come looking for the record, or even if it doesn't come, as a part of preservation of our own cultural heritage, it's our duty to do that.
Yes.
So with the changing scenario, society has undertaken lots of digitization projects, or whatever material we can put our hands on.
Yes.
Be it in our own collection, or society's collection, or somebody who doesn't want to participate in this activity, but he wants to give record for digitization and goes back to them. And I am very proud to tell that there are many people approaching us. They have full tapes and cassette tapes and old discs and wire records and full records and whatnot.
They want to digitize.
Unfortunately, we have lost most of our cylinders, which was one time the largest collection in Asia probably. The cylinder, the voices of Rabindranath Tagore and many more people were recorded. But that time people are looking at the toy.
Yes.
In the initial phases, when Abdul Karim Khan recorded in 1905, and again he recorded in 1935. It was not for any love of the format or the medium. It was not in their head that they are going to store their voice for the posterity. It was just an experiment. In the times when they would take hours to tune their instruments and their own voice, recording for 60 seconds and 90 seconds and 3 minutes, it was just a fun for them.
Yes.
But whatever they did, today it has become a legacy. And it's our duty to preserve it for generations to come.
And is there any future plans of yours?
Society's plan would be, as I told you, that we will digitize on our own, but already information is going on many websites in sharing basis. But if we can put all our Indian digitized stuff in some virtual cloud computer somewhere, and that is accessible not through only website, but anybody who subscribes, anybody who shows interest, I think that would be a real ideal gift. And whatever happens, one backup copy is always in the cloud.
Yes, yes. And is there any record library